From the wood's edge, rabbits bobbed and nibbled. Rooks suddenly rose in a black train and went trailing off over the little sky. Connie opened the wood gate, and Clifford puffed slowly through into the broad riding that ran up an incline between the clean-whipped thickets of the hazel. The wood was a remnant of the great forest where Robin Hood hunted, and this riding was an old thoroughfare coming across country. But now, of course, it was only a riding through the private wood. The road from Mansfield swerved round to the north. In the wood, everything was motionless. The old leaves on the ground keeping the frost on their underside. A jay called harshly. Many little birds fluttered. But there was no game, no pheasants. They had been killed off during the war, and the wood had been left unprotected. Till now, Clifford had got his gamekeeper again. Clifford loved the wood. He loved the old oak trees. He felt they were his own through generations. He wanted to protect them. He wanted this place inviolate, shut off from the world. The chair chuffed slowly up the incline, rocking and jolting on the frozen clods. And suddenly, on the left, came a clearing where there was nothing but a ravel of dead bracken, a thin and spindly sapling leaning here and there, big sawn stumps showing their tops and their grasping roots, lifeless, and patches of blackness where the woodmen had burned the brushwood and rubbish. This was one of the places that Sir Geoffrey had cut during the war for trench timber. The whole knoll, which rose softly on the right of the riding, was denuded and strangely forlorn. On the crown of the knoll, where the oaks had stood, now was bareness, and from there you could look out over the trees to the colliery railway and the new works at Stack's Gate. Connie had stood and looked. It was a breach in the pure seclusion of the wood. It let in the world. But she didn't tell Clifford. This denuded place always made Clifford curiously angry. He had been through the war, had seen what it meant. But he didn't get really angry until he saw this bare hill. He was having it replanted, but it made him hate Sir Geoffrey.